Number one, how'd you get into training? And number two was about nutrition. Nobody wanted anything about motivation. So I think everybody is already motivated enough, I guess, but mostly about nutrition and getting into training. So I know you have a gym in Hollywood right now, right?
Yeah, it's not the glitz and glamour everybody thinks. Hollywood is dirty.
Is this your first gym that you owned?
No, actually, I don't own the gym. Everyone thinks I do because I've been there for so long. I've been at this gym for 21 years. Yeah, and I mean, listen, if I own this gym, I'd have it a lot prettier than what it looks. But it's an old school gym. It has that old school vibe. You know, it's just get in there, do the workout, and get out. Everyone that comes in, they're just goal oriented. Like, there's no one that just hangs out on a machine and plays on their phone or like jabbering to other people. Like, my gym here, it's not very crowded, so it feels like a private gym. It's 3 levels, and it's just awesome. I mean, everyone knows each other. Everyone's helped everyone out, you know. And I've been there 21 years, and I've had many different faces come in and out. So, you know, pretty much everyone's associated me to the gym, you know, versus the other way around. Like, a lot of people don't even know who the owner is, you know, because whenever something like breaks or damage, it's me who's fixing it. So, because I have a deal with the owner, because before she wasn't fixing anything. Like, it was just all the equipment stayed broken. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't train the clients. You couldn't work out. It was terrible. So I worked a deal out with her where, hey, I'll handle everything getting fixed. You just pay for it. So I got a maintenance guy who comes in whenever something breaks, needs to be replaced or anything else. I just call him up, get him in there. We fix everything, and that's where I can train my clients and keep the business going. So everyone thinks it's my gym, but it's not. Technically, it's not. I wish.
Man, I thought it was your gym forever. I see those videos on your Facebook of your, what is it, 4 a.m.? Is that your first start?
Yeah, the gym doesn't open till 6. I have keys. I'm allowed in there, so, like, you know, it's been good, you know, because with certain clientele, it's great to have them in there when they don't want to be around a bunch of other people, and some, you know, it gives them a little more private access. So it helps out. You know, it's actually been a good thing. So it pays off. It's nice.
Yeah. And like certain people, I mean, you train everybody from celebrities to everybody's, you know, everyday kind of busy working people to grandparents, etc., right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I started out with competitors, bodybuilders, and did that for, I did it steady for 10 years with guys, and then moved into girls, and was taking a few girls on here and there. And then I left the industry. I just got tired of dealing with bodybuilders and the competitive side. It was just getting too political and just wasn't fun anymore. People themselves became kind of like, you know, pain to work with. So I was like, I'm just going to focus on the everyday people. And then, you know, I got back into it for a little bit. I had a few people that hit me up, and, you know, we got back in, did a couple competitions. My last guy took 3rd place. I had a girl who took 2nd. Girl in Vegas took 1st. She won the overall. So it was cool. It was cool to get back in there, but I'm good not going back into that industry. I'd rather deal with the everyday people because it's just less stress. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. You know, with filling out a certain person's body part to make them more symmetrical, more balanced, and bring out the details and striations so they can look good on stage. It's fun. You know, when you can take a deficient area and make it more magnitude and more proficient, just profound. Yeah, it's amazing. It's great, especially when you see the results. But yeah, sometimes the process of dealing with people's moods. I got my own problems to deal with at home. I don't need you to come in and give me your shit.
Oh, man. And you can probably, I mean, you can apply how you focus specifically on making muscles more defined, etc. Like, you probably get a ton of that from general people. Like, hey, how do I get better abs? How do I get focus on my glutes? How do I, you know, like, and you've got this exact specifics of what you did with your bodybuilders. So you got it all nailed down for them, I'm sure.
I always felt that if you could handle a bodybuilder, if you can, even if you just get one bodybuilder and get them from being off season into competition ready down to 3%, then you can handle anyone. You know, everyone's going to be a little bit different. You got to find the niche. You know, you start with the baseline, the norm, and then you see who's different, how they react, and then, you know, make your adjustments. But, you know, if you could take someone who's, you know, got to lose 35 pounds in like 17 weeks, and you got to get them from, I don't know, 18, 19% body fat down to 3% body fat, you could do it for anyone. Yeah, you know, bodybuilders, it's rough. It's not as easy as what they think. Everyone thinks that, oh, these guys are taking a bunch of steroids and it's easy. No, it's actually harder, you know, because they have to be so committed. They have to balance everything out. They got to take the right amount of supplements. They still got to eat all the food. They got to get all the water in, all the nutrition in. They got to train. They got to do the cardio. You know, whether you're a guy or girl, when you're on that competitive level, it's not easy. Whether you're taking gear or whether you're going natural, it's a lot of work and commitment. because you have to commit, 5-6 days a week. Got to commit to the cardio. They got to commit to all the food, getting all the meals in, and balance. A lot of people just don't have that dedication and commitment. They'll start off for a couple of weeks and say it's fun, but then they don't see the results like right away, and then they fall off. Whereas the people that are actually competing, you got to give it to them. That's a lot of work that they put into it.
Yeah, and down to 3%, man. I think I hit the 3% mark when I was about 20, and that was my lowest body fat. But it's crazy the specifics that every athlete has to go through. I did a little internship with the LA Kings for hockey. That strength coach, and that was early in my college days, and it was eye-opening to me because I just thought, I was at the fitness approach where, squats, you don't break 90, bench press, you don't touch your chest, like you learn that kind of stuff on the how to be a trainer 101, the 24-hour fitness trainer. Yeah. So I went and I saw the LA Kings trainer, and he was having the players doing squats, touching their butt on a bumper plate while they're doing weighted squats. And just the mobility and the range of motion was crazy to me. And I'm like, whoa, okay, these are pro athletes and they need that kind of mobility in their hips. Yeah, I was saying the bodybuilder has to be specifically to be effective in their field, they have to be at 3%. Whereas the hockey player has to be able to have hip mobility, like the specifics of everything. It was crazy. So when I first started training at 18, 19, like I said, the 24-hour fitness trainer, it was way different than all the stuff that I've gone through now and people that I've met and stuff. It's a pretty awesome business to be in, to constantly learn.
And there's many different fields. It's not just everyone wants to lose weight. That's just majority of the people, they want to lose some weight and look a little better. But there's so many different styles of training. People want to lose weight. People want to get fit. They want to have a beach body look. They want to be, competitive athlete, or they want to be a competitive bodybuilder, or they want to be a power lifter, or they just want to have stamina endurance. I know some people who, if you look at them, they look overweight, but they can run circles around you in the gym. They can run, marathons. You'd never
Jokic know. On the Nuggets.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, look at him. He just won the MVP too.
Yep.
So there's all different kinds of training. You just got to kind of adapt to whatever that person's goal is, and then base the formulation around that. Like, what's your goal? Okay, great. You want to lose 10 pounds and gain 15 pounds of muscle. Okay, great. Oh, you don't want to be crisp abs. You just want a flat stomach because you want to look good on the beach, but you still want to have cake, cookies, ice creams, and drinks. Okay, fine. So you want to have a realistic look. You can eat that stuff and still look good. It's just everything in moderation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I do. I train a lot of firefighters on the side, and the rookie firefighters, they're all about speed, power, going crazy, doing everything as fast as they can. And then the older guys on the verge of retirement, they're like, "Can you train me to not get hurt?" And that's their goal. They just want pure functional stuff. How do I pick things up? How do I rotate my body? Just help me to not get hurt. Yeah. So it's like you said, it's all depends on what the needs of what the people want. So it's very interesting.
That's so spot on, because my cousin, he's an LA firefighter for LAFD, and he's been there for over 30 years now, probably 31, 32 years. And he was always just this big, muscular guy. I mean, just really muscular, just jacked. And he was all natural. And now that he's getting old, I think he just hit 60. And now he's like, yeah, I work on flexibility now. I do yoga. I don't go heavy. He does straight leg deadlifts with, like 20 pounds on the bar because he just wants to be able to touch his toes and be able to get that mobility. He does a lot of Russian twists so we can get the full mobility and the twisting so we can actually bend over and tie his shoe. It's all functional stuff now.
Oh yeah. How's your online training stuff?
I mean, it's there. I mean, the biggest issue that I have with the online training, I mean, the clients that come to me that want to sign up, they do great. They're amazing. They're fine. It's me having to go look for the clients. If I have to try to convince you to train, that you need to be healthy, that you need to work out, you need to get fit, you don't want it. And I'm not going to be a traveling salesman that's pushing you to do something that you don't want to do. It's not my thing. I don't want to be that annoying guy that's, you walk into a car dealership and you just want to look at a car so you get an idea, and you got like 20 guys pushing you, buy this, buy that, we'll give you this deal, this deal, this deal. And then you just don't respect them because you're just throwing everything at me. I don't want to be that guy in the training field. Like, I don't want to convince you to have to train. If you want to train, let's train, we'll do it. I have a whole platform set up, because with the in-person, I don't do any marketing and I don't try to convince people to train. If they want to train, they hit me up and we get started, and we have a packed schedule and we get it going. With the online, everyone's a trainer nowadays. Everyone has the next best thing, and all these young cats who are, barely in their 20s, these guys where their balls have barely dropped yet. They think they know better than everyone else, yet they have no experience. They're young and they have abs because, bro, you're 22 years old. You're supposed to. Or you're 28 and you say you have some experience. The guy who's 28, yeah, I'll give you that. You got some more experience. But if you're under 25, you don't really have much going on. You can study kinesiology and all that stuff, but they just think they're the next best thing to sliced cheese. And those are the abundance of people. They're all about being on social media, and they do great. They do great on social media. You got to give it to them. They're great marketers. They like to take pictures, like to take videos. They like to go over there and put their whole spiel out there. But there's a lot of turnover rate, because they just, for whatever reason, they're not coming through. Lack of experience, lack of being able to figure out that everyone trains different. This person might have a shoulder issue and they can't handle some free weights. So what machines do you put them on? How do you position them on the machine so they can work around an injury? Is it necessary to go heavy? No. Once you do some, muscle stimulation and do some focused squeezing, slow the pace down, get the reps up. You don't have to do all that stuff. It's not just pick it up and put it down. Oh, let me go bench press because everyone says I need a bench press, or hey, I got to do squats because everyone says I have to do squats. Yeah. These young cats, they can't quite distinguish the difference with goals, everyone's individual goals, and then catering a platform or a workout regimen to that individual's needs. With my online, it's just like I post on social media. People got questions, they hit me up. If they want to train, cool, let's do it. But I stopped reaching out to people because I just felt like I was that gimmicky car salesman that was just forcing people to train. I was like, that's just not me.
Yeah, you like the people that walk through your door, that call you, that email you saying, hey, I want to work out. And I'm the same way. Like, that was my biggest turn off from doing online training. I don't want to reach out and email you and say like, hey, let's work out. Let's do it. Because if you're not driven enough to do it yourself, you're not going to stick with it. And I'm just kind of taking money from you. It's not cool.
And I'm sure, you're in the fitness industry and you're pretty much did all the same stuff that I did, with the online stuff. So I'm sure you're getting tons of emails from people who are coaches who can teach you how to build your online presence. And when you read these emails, it's literally copy and pasted what one person said to, that another one is telling me. And if you look at them, these are all young 20-year-olds. They're like age 19 to like 26 years old. And I'm like, wait a second here. How do you know more than me as far as training goes? You know more about me about, how to use social media. I'll give you that much, because I'm a little more old school. It's like, you get everything is copy and pasted. It's the same. They all went to the same mentorship. They all went to the same program, and they're just using all the done for you already material, and they're just putting in these mass emails and sending it out all across social media to everyone. Like, it's just all crap. When you start pitching to people about online training, I kind of look at it as you're categorizing yourself into those people that are pitching to us about how they can be a better online coach for us. We're pitching, hey, we can be a better trainer to you. It's just, it's oversaturated right now with people that just don't have the experience or education.
Oh, completely. And I tried to look into follow through with people on gym and going to the gym and working out and stuff. And my perspective is the more and more people go on social media and look at these influencers, they have the intention of wanting them to work out. But if I'm 45 years old and 265 pounds overweight and, like you said, can't even tie my shoes, and I look at somebody who's completely shredded and ripped saying come work out with me, I don't know. I think a lot of people would be like, I'm never going to be there. So why do I even try?
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone can. It's just, what's your level of commitment? Anyone can get better and can get in good shape. It's just some people it's more challenging for others, and some people it's easier than others. The people that it's really easy for, we just want to drown them and throw them in a river full of chocolate, and get rid of them. Because for everyone else, it's harder. We have to, we got to actually put in a lot of work. You got to balance out all your macros. You got to figure out what foods work, what doesn't, because not every food works for everyone. Nowadays, people in their 50s are shredded, looking amazing. 50s and the 60s. People are looking really good. The fitness world right now is actually doing really well to where people are really, really making some great changes. They're changing their food. They're changing their regimen. They're getting rid of some of these bad habits. They're reducing their alcohol consumption. They're getting rid of some of these snacks. And there's so many more healthier snacks that are out there now that it's easier for people to actually follow. And people are getting in better shape. So you look at some of these people that are in their 50s and they look better than 20 and 30-year-olds.
Yep. And I think it's a lot of it is the access to going online and researching stuff on your own and stuff. And it's so easy now But I also feel like on the other end, I don't know, for some reason I feel like there's a lot of people who have just from talking to people that I've trained, I feel like fitness influencers that have their shirts off that look ripped and like they say, hey, check me out, check me out, check me out. I feel like more people just watch them just to look at them because they're not necessarily to get to work out and get workout ideas. It's just like, oh wow, look at this. It's just
But you got to remember, sex sells. Sex sells. Whether you're a guy or a girl, if you have something pleasant to look at, like if you're eye candy for whatever way, you're gonna get people to look at you. But here's the thing: do you want to have 1 million followers that are just looking at you, or do you want to have 1,000 followers that are actually paying for your service and knowledge?
Yeah. Yep. You know? Exactly.
So it's not the quantity; it's quality over quantity. Yeah, it's cool that a lot of people want to follow you and all the other stuff, but are they really going to help you out with your life and your own business goals and aspirations? No, most people aren't. Some people will, and some people can't afford to hire someone, and that's fine. Nowadays a lot of people are putting up free information. I mean, my page is all free information. I have like 600 posts, I think over 400 videos, and every video was a question that someone asked. All right, here, I'll just put a video up. Hopefully it answers it for you. I like to wear my shirts. I don't want to go ahead and take them off. I wear 2X shirts. I mean, I'm 5'10", 236 pounds. Body fat lingers around 11-12%. Okay, I don't need to go and strip down and impress anyone. I'm pretty sure my wife wouldn't like it if I did all that. So I'm just like, no. Happy wife, happy life. So what I do is I usually get my videos. I get a model. Usually they're one of my clients. I usually pick one of my clients and say, hey, let's do some videos, and I'll demonstrate. They'll do the demonstration. I explain, this is where we're going to stand. This is where you're going to sit. This is where you're going to put your elbows. We're going to put your chin. We're going to put your chest. Where you're going to put your feet. This is when you breathe. This is when you inhale. All that stuff. So this way it becomes easier. So there's a lot of people putting out some good information out there. There's other people who are putting out stupid information. Some people are putting out stuff that is beyond ridiculous. You're like, why would you stand 1 foot on a Bosu ball, lean back, do curls with one arm, and then do a side lateral with the other? I'm like, how does this make any sense? Oh, I'm working on my core and my balance and stringing out my muscles. No, dumbass, you're working on making insurance people rich. You're gonna just you're a walking injury.
I saw a few good memes or GIFs or whatever you want to call them of people walking into the gym for the first time after a few years layoff.
I've seen those lately. Listen, there's some people that are putting out some extreme videos because they want the attention. I mean, like, I'm sure we've all seen that guy that's, doing pull-ups and he's holding a bench strapped to his back, or he's doing squats and he's got people hanging on one end of the barbell and like other equipment hanging off the other end. I mean, clearly he's not doing that for his workout. He's doing it for the attention. And, if you take it for face value and for entertainment value, it was a cool video. Okay.
Yeah.
He was able to pull it off because he actually did the exercise while doing this. I mean, dude, kudos to him.
Yeah.
But by all means, that doesn't happen every day in the gym.
It's entertaining, like you said, but it's not exactly something that you would prescribe to people to do. Did you go through the whole certification stuff? Did you go through NSCA or
I went to the Pro PTA. Pro PTA is the one I liked. So ACE was always my favorite one that I liked because I used to be a nurse, and so I was in nursing school a long time ago, many moons ago, and I was a nurse for several years. And when you looked at all the material for training, the only one that reminded me of being legit with like actual books and like formulations and study guides and everything else was ACE. ACE was really good because they give you actual textbooks, a ton of CDs, everything, now everything is streamed, no CDs. They had the most abundant amount of information, and it reminded me a lot of my textbooks when I was in nursing school because they were just so precise on everything. So I always liked ACE the best. I'm a person where I need to be in person. I can't really do stuff online because I have a million questions. So the only program that was still around that was offering the in-person at the time that I got certified was the Pro PTA. And they're still around, and they offer the in-person training as well as online. And so I went through them, and they're pretty good. I did the certification portion for both the nutrition and the training, and I only did it just for the legal reason to do it. I was already training people on the side before that. Training is not something I wanted to do. It was just kind of fell into my lap because I was pretty decent at it, and then it just became a career for me where I've been doing it for 21 years now. I literally was doing it on the side just to help friends out. My buddy, who's a trainer, he's a well-known trainer, he's the one that convinced me to do this full time, and I always thought he was full of crap, and then abruptly quit my job because I used to be a plant manager, was running large chemical companies, and I stressed out and I quit, and I went to him right away and said, I'll take you up on your offer. And then he helped me and really showed me how to train people, because he was training pro bodybuilders on the pro level, people who are competing on the Olympia stage, and both guys and girls. So I learned a lot from him, and I really owe and blame all my give all my credit for being a trainer to him. His name is Charles Glass. He's a personal friend of mine, and he's the one that convinced me to be a trainer. And most of what I learned from him. You know, he's hands down the best trainer in the world.
I went the NSCA route. I like you said, the hands-on stuff. I love going to their conventions and to get my CSCS. I actually started as the person that you wanted to throw in a pool of chocolate. At about 17 or 18, I was approached in the gym to be a fitness model.
So I did. Look at you, big sexy celebrity on the line here.
So I did fitness modeling, and then I used the equipment and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should get into training. And I started getting into training. I'm like, this is so fun. This is so cool to learn this kind of stuff. I went the whole basic route, like we talked about before, with the 24-hour fitness mentality approach, but then expanded from there. And NSCA completely opened up my mind to so many different things, especially when I went to Vegas and I met LeBron's trainer. Hearing what LeBron eats for fish oil, what he trains specifically, how he trains his ankle for his ankle mobility, how, like all this kind of stuff, to more specifics for training. And I was like, oh man, I want to be a part of this. So that's how I got into more NSCA, CSCS stuff. And then lately I've been really involved. Have you done the FMS stuff? Functional movement system? Functional movement training? And I'm a teacher too. So like doing the old school PE fitness tests. Mm-hmm. It's push-ups, sit-ups, run a mile, touch your toes, and a torso lift, which, you know, like the seal off the ground. And I think it's been going on from like 1964 doing this kind of testing, trying to push the FMS stuff. It's more of a functional movement screen that's just doing, like, ultimately, you know, can you scratch your back? Can you turn your head? Can you rotate your body? Like all the stuff that people kind of take for granted, especially firefighters in training that are about to retire. They want to be able to not get hurt.
It's different when they're young, though, man. Everyone's made of rubber. You can grab both your hands behind your back, man. I can look if I could touch my back.
Hey, you'd be surprised now. You would be so surprised now. It is crazy how the lack of flexibility, mobility, strength. I can probably count on one hand how many kids can do 2 pull-ups, like legit pull-ups, out of 750.
That is sad. I mean, so now, because you're a teacher and you do PE. Yeah. Are they still doing it 5 days a week? Because I heard some schools were reducing it to like 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah, still 5 days. Middle school and high school is 5 days a week.
I mean, I'm in LA County, and I heard there was a few schools up here that were doing that. Can't remember which ones. I don't want to oust out the wrong school.
I wonder if they're private or public.
I heard, well, no, these were public schools, but the weird thing was it wasn't every school. They were doing it for a couple, but I don't know if they were trying it out, if it was consistent. This was just a couple of years ago, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like right before COVID.
Yeah, I know they were potentially trying to take away PE, make it less and more focus on, you know, book stuff. But I'm pretty sure, I mean, at least near us, it was completely, you know, no, we're doing PE. We need PE. So it's kind of good to see that people still had their wits to make sure that to realize that kids need to get and do some PE.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting fatter these days, so
it's crazy. They're getting real good at video games, though, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, the thumb pump they have is unreal. You know?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
man,
the muscularity that you see down that vein is just like, wow, look at that thing. They need to keep PE, and they need to actually expand more on health, where they can talk more about nutrition. I didn't learn anything really in nutrition until I went into nursing school. That's when we broke everything down. That was an eye-opener. I stopped drinking sodas right there. I mean, when I heard about the toxicity level of sodas and what it does to the renal glands, I was like, oh, hell no. It freaked me out. I mean, you can have clear sodas. I mean, even orange soda is considered clear soda, but like the dark sodas, like, you know, Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb, whatever other dark ones are out there, no way. And believe it or not, Mountain Dew was just the highest amount of sugar. And so what that does to your system as well. I mean, if they would have taught me this in high school, that would have made a big difference on me, because it's so toxic and it's freaky what it does to your kidneys.
Yeah. Did you see the experiment, the Mountain Dew experiment, where they took a dead rat? They took a dead mouse. They put it in a cup of Mountain Dew. They let it sit, I think, for a day or 2 days. The mouse was completely dissolved. Just the bones were inside of it.
Are you serious?
You can look it up on YouTube. It's crazy. It's disgusting.
People are drinking these.
As far as like nutrition wise, do you have any go-tos for most of the people that you train?
Which ones? I mean, there's different clientele, like the weight loss people or the beach bodybuilder-esque people.
For me, for the most part, I always try to emphasize getting enough protein. Like that's my number one thing, no matter what.
Okay, yeah.
And like, do you have anything that you specifically tell people, kind of like your go-to, your main focus that you have for a majority of clients? Like you can no sugar or no soda, or only aim for protein first or something like that.
No, not anger coaching. I mean, I have a couple clients who are overweight and they have sweet tooth. So the biggest thing for them is like we try to cut the sugar. You know, like I'll make a deal with them. You know, give me at least 5 out of the 7 days no sugar, and then let's cut it down to 6 days, and then on the 7th day let's just decide to give you like a treat or something, like have a soda, or you know, have that piece of candy that you want, something. But we got to cut it down. The sugar is just, some of these people are just over consuming too much sugar, and that'll just destroy you on so many levels. But I would say probably the biggest thing that people do want to know that they don't understand, honestly, is the macros. Like you say, the protein, they get lost and confused. You know, like you have a guy who's 300 pounds actually, a guy who hit me up today, he was 348 pounds, and he got down to I think he said 268. He's lost almost 100 pounds, and now he's plateaued and stuck. And all he did before is he just reduced his total calories. And so, but the problem is now he's got like a bunch of loose skin, and so he's got to tighten everything up. So he needs to work out and build the muscle and get it a little more leaner, a little more dense, more developed. And so for him, he didn't know how to go about doing that, because, you know, he can still, the loose skin isn't saggy skin, it's just loose. So he still has a chance to go ahead and catch it before it gets much worse. So we were discussing the macros, you know, I'm like, well, technically, you know, I mean, they'll say you need 1 gram per pound, when really it's about 0.8 grams per pound to go ahead and build it, stay lean, and be pretty maintained. 1.5 grams if you want to go ahead and put it on, you know, be a little bit leaner, put on a lot of mass. 2 grams, you just want to be a plump little like powerlifter. You know? So a lot of people don't understand like how much protein they need to take, or everyone's afraid of carbs. Well, I don't want to take any carbs.
Oh my gosh, man! Everybody's afraid of carbs.
Function, cognitive ability. You need it for the organs to function. It's just you know, everything in moderation. If you're going to have 300 grams of carbs that day, and you do it every day, it might be a problem. You know, but if you can do 300 grams of carbs, but you're going to do, let's say, you know, 80 grams of fats, that's not bad. If your fats and carbs are high, there's a problem. You know, offset them. You know, one should be higher than the other. If you want to have a high carb day, have a low fat day. If you want to have a high fat day, have a low carb day. You know, and then go over the ranges based on the goal. You'll determine how much they need to take, and then just, you know, balance everything out. So that's probably the biggest thing that people usually get confused on. You know, they got to talk about nutrition. Everyone thinks it's just chicken and broccoli. Oh, I'm dieting. I gotta have chicken and broccoli. I'm so tired of chicken. I can't put anything on it.
Salads every day and every night.
Yeah. One guy's like, "Oh man, I just put mustard on it." I'm like, "Well, you can. There's nothing wrong with mustard. You can have that all day long, you know." But they don't understand. You can put seasonings on there. There's a bunch of seasonings and flavorings you can put on there, you know. And you can have, you know, potatoes. You can have rice, you know. But do you want to have potatoes at 8, 9 o'clock at night if you're going to go right to bed right afterwards? Probably not. You know, and do you want to have, if you're, you know, the guy that works out at, you know, 5 in the morning, and you know it's 8 o'clock at night, do you want to have a complex carb? Yeah, go for it. You know, give you a little bit of fuel for the morning workout. It's a, you know, slow digested carbohydrate, and it's not going to break down, digest in your body right away. If you don't use it, it's going to turn into fat. Take a complex carb. You can eat some complex carbs, that's fine. You know, but if you're not going to work out, change the diet up around a little more.
Yeah, and it totally ties into what we talked about earlier. The influencers giving us crazy information. Don't eat carbs, don't eat fat. Like there's all these different things that if people just keep it simple, like you said, focus on simple things, you get success. But they always try to do all this extra fluff and shortcuts and all this kind of stuff, and then they don't get the results. I always try and say, like, keep it simple, like moderation, like you said. Just know what you're putting in your body, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, learn how to cook. You don't have to be a gourmet chef. You know, get an air fryer, get a good air fryer. You know, like I love the Ninja Foodie Grill. I mean, I think it's awesome. It's the one that opens up from the top down, and you can put everything in there. It saves me half the cooking time than my oven. And you can cook it clean. It's fast. It's simple. So let's say you're at home, you know, you only got like, you know, 30 minutes. You can cook a whole meal in 15 minutes. Give you enough time to finish eating and then get on out about your day. You know, if you want to meal prep, it makes it easier to meal prep because it cooks it so much faster. You can do all your meal prep in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, so that's huge. That everyone complains they don't have enough time to eat well. You know, so
yeah, everyone has time to eat well. They're looking for an excuse of not to. Now, sometimes, you know, I do have some people where like they're back-to-back meetings, like the corporate guys, back-to-back meetings, meeting. So yeah, it's gonna look weird if you're just like shoveling food in your face, in a meeting. I get that, but you could drink something. You can drink a shake. You can wolf down a shake in like a minute or two before you go into the meeting. So this way you're getting some nutritional balance, so you're not in such a deficit. But everyone has to really figure out: do they want to? Are they willing to go ahead and make the sacrifice and the commitment to get to their goal, or are they just going to look for an excuse to get out of it and make themselves feel good? Well, I can't because I'm busy. Oh, I can't because, I work 10 hours today. Oh, I can't because I have meetings all the time. Or oh, I can't because I got to pick up my kids, drop them off at school. And then I got to come and do all the errands and pay the bills. I got to go pick them up from school. I got to cook dinner and all that stuff. Okay. I get up at 1:45 in the morning. My first client's at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, man, it's almost your bedtime. I didn't mean to keep you from your bed.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I don't go to bed until at least 10 o'clock, sometimes 10:30. I only get about 3.5 to 4 hours of sleep a night. On the weekends, I'll get 5 to 5.5. And there's just not enough hours in the day. If you want something, you'll adjust your lifestyle around it. So if you have a goal and you want to get to it, and like you have lawyers that they have to be in the office at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and they work until 10 o'clock at night, that's fine. Come train at 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning. You can do it. You just have to adjust your sleep time. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone has an excuse, but no one has a reason. The old saying, excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Oh man, that's spot on. You had something on your Facebook page a while ago about what people think they need to lose weight versus what actually they need to lose weight, and everyone thinks that they need cardio to get that muscle and lose weight, and then they don't realize, okay, it's not 80% cardio, it's 80% nutrition, 12% lifting weights and maybe 4% cardio. So
but not to negate cardio, because your heart is a muscle and you have to take care of your heart. So you still have to get that conditioned and keep it strong. So some people are like, oh, if I do cardio, I'm going to burn off all my muscle mass. Well, then don't go at 1,000,000 miles an hour on the treadmill. Go at a walking pace, put it on an incline, the highest incline you can handle, the fastest walking pace you can handle, and don't hold on to any of the arm rails. This way you can go ahead and burn fat, get your endurance up, and keep the heart strong. Really, that'll work. That will absolutely work. Go on the stair climber, put on level 6, level 7. Go into fat burning mode, just enough to keep the heart pumping, get it strong, get it consistent, burn a little bit of fat without overdoing it. You're not going to lose that muscle you're doing. Do it for 20, 30 minutes. The stair climber is hard. 20, 30 minutes, you're good to go.
And then keep your heart healthy, you keep your brain healthy. So you got to have the constant blood flow and no blockage, no high blood pressure, none of that kind of stuff. So cardio is super huge so treat it as if it's its own muscle, but don't treat it as a fat burner only by itself. So
yeah, everyone wants to get caught up on, what pills can I take to go ahead and lose everything? Come on, what's that secret you got? How many pills can I take? Oh, I take 2 pills and it'll work. I'm gonna take 6. No.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Mark Twight by any chance? He's the guy who trained the movie 300.
Oh, yeah.
It was like CrossFit before CrossFit, kind of in a sense. I love his training, his speeches, his talk. I mean, if you he's
I've
solid.
heard one of his. Dude, he's inspirational. I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. The guy is like, he keeps it very real. To tell you what you can do, and it's up to you, either do it or not, but there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what it takes.
I think he's one of the most underrated big time trainers that there was. It's crazy how there's not many people that really know who he is. Everything is like CrossFit.
Here's the thing about CrossFit. I personally am not a fan of it. I like the concept of it. I don't like how you have to, every workout is supposed to lift more weight than the previous time and do more reps than the previous time, lesser amount of time. You're just going to go ahead and look for an injury. That's why I get more people come to me who are injured from CrossFit than I do any other people. So I do a lot of rehab, broken necks, broken backs, shoulder reconstructive surgeries, replacement knees and hips. Those are my biggest rehabs that I get, right? And I do get a bunch of those, especially broken backs. But I probably get more than a third of my clients all come to me because they're injured from CrossFit. Now you can blame either CrossFit or you can blame the instructor for not paying attention to the client, making sure that they're doing it right so they don't get hurt. These classes can get so big that the instructor doesn't have time to go ahead and watch every single person. And then the people, they're pushing so hard to get a faster time, get more reps, do heavier weight, that it gets a little sloppy. And the next, they get an injury.
Yeah.
So you could blame the instructor, you could blame the individual, you could blame CrossFit itself, you could blame the concept. The fact of the matter is a lot of people get injured. You know?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the baseline of it is that people are being active, which is pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
The flip side, though, is at what cost?
I mean, if you at least took out the time concept, then you'd reduce a lot of injuries because people are going so fast. Like, and even with just standardized training, when people want to lean out, they're going to do more reps. They want to go faster, but when you go faster, never jeopardize form for speed. When you're going faster, you're not getting proper form. You're not going to get that full range. Sometimes they're dipping on the movements a little bit. They're rounding back. The elbows are coming too tight. The shoulders are rolling forward. They're just not getting the full range of motion because they're so caught up on going fast. If you at least were to get rid of that speed time, you'd have less injuries. But then it wouldn't be as fun, right? I mean, my cousin does CrossFit. My cousin does the CrossFit Games, and he's a beast, man. I think you go to these games, there's like 500 to 1,000 people competing. My cousin took 26th place. I'm like, holy shit. These games are not easy. The CrossFit competitions, are not easy at all. You look at them and you're like, oh, hey, you're doing a kipping pull-up, which is the most bullshit pull-up I've ever seen in my life. But you're going to expend some energy. And they're doing it like in a circuit with like 30 different exercises. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to fatigue them out. And the fact that they're all doing it, okay, give them credit for having the stamina and the endurance. But my cousin's just a beast. He's a beast at it. And I love to talk shit to him about how CrossFit sucks. And he's like, look at me.
And do you say, look at me in 10 years? Is that?
Yeah, see, he's I think how old is he now? He's with 37 or 36.
Oh, okay. Not injured yet, so that's good.
Yeah, I think I'm 10 years older than him. So, and believe it or not, he's one of those freak of natures. He hasn't had a single injury, but he's meticulous on form and everything. I mean, he's a beast. Yeah. So he's the type of person where I would say, if you were going to go do CrossFit, you should go do it with my cousin, because my cousin, he's not going to steer you wrong. He's really good. He's the guy that teaches you everything perfectly. The problem is that just not every instructor is like him, and that's where the injuries come in. So
yeah,
if you're going to go do CrossFit, pick your location carefully, talk to the instructors, watch them first on how they teach their classes, and if they're not paying attention to the other members, they ain't going to be paying attention to you. Don't go in there because you're going to get injured. You got to remember, a lot of people are impulse people. People go impulse shopping, impulse eating, impulse traveling. They're going to do the same thing for impulse working out. They get the idea of I need to get fit. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. Let me go do something. What's the way I can get in shape the fastest? Oh, I hear about CrossFit, so we go sign up. Then some people like it and they do very well and they stay addicted to it and they keep going. And other people get injured and they drop out and it kind of ruins their morale. So it's like people should just step back, take it from third gear to second gear, do their research, start looking around, find a good gym, that has good instructors, people that are willing to answer their questions and explain the why aspect. Or we do it like this because this is why we do this. This is why we train like that. This is why you do this exercise. This is why you don't do that one. If someone can't explain the why aspect, they're probably not someone you want to talk to because they don't know themselves, and you're going to get injured. Everything you do, you should be able to explain the why aspect of why you're going to do this workout, this program, this exercise, this circuit, this superset, why you're going to eat these foods at this time. If you can't explain the why aspect, don't waste your time.
Yeah. Well, man, it's almost your bedtime, right? Hitting 10 o'clock.
Actually, I haven't even cooked dinner yet, so I'm behind. I got a meal prep for tomorrow. So,
well, man, thank you so much for jumping on and chatting and hanging out. Do you have anything specific, anything for as far as training? I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes out here too. I'm getting attacked. Do you have anything where you would want people to go to contact you, like Facebook or anything specific, if they wanted to work out with you, train with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on all the social medias. They can go on Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok, just Mike's Body Sculpting, just like you see right there. You can go to Mike's Body Sculpting. They can hit me up. They can go to my website. Same thing. Whether they want to train or not, they just have a couple of questions. More than happy to answer questions. Remember, when people ask questions, it's always a video for me to go make. So they help me do content. So I don't mind answering people's questions and talking to people because, I'm helping them out. They get to help me out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. You've helped out a ton, including me. That's for sure, Mike. So thank you so much.
You help me out too. What are you talking about? We keep each other in check.